Beginning.
The pilot episodes of The Twilight Zone, She-Wolf of London, Lost in Space, and Starman.
End
The final episodes of Same.
Playhouse.
A 2-day special event on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Somebody's looking at me, please.
The beginning of the End Playhouse continues next.
Welcome to the Edge.
Welcome back to the beginning of the End Playhouse, here on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Marta Kristen.
And I'm Mark Goddard. As tonight's pilot episodes have certainly proved, science fiction can take many forms. We've leaped from that eerie dimension, the Twilight Zone, to the gruesome but witty world of She-Wolf of London.
From our own adventures on Lost in Space to this next series, which focuses on strong human relationships, the pilot episode of Starman. It's based on the 1984 movie directed by John Carpenter.
In the film, Starman is an alien creature who comes to Earth in response to that famous invitation aboard the Galileo space probe. He takes the form of the recently deceased Scott Hayden. He frightens Scott's wife, Jenny, but then charms her.
And he gives Jenny the one thing she wants most, her husband's child. Before leaving Earth, he entrusts Jenny with a magical sphere to give to the baby she now carries. And that's where the TV series begins. 15 years later, Starman returns when his teenage son, Scott Hayden, activates the sphere.
Starman must assume another human form. This time it's Paul Forrester, a photographer recently killed in a helicopter crash near Mount St. Helens.
Actor Michael Douglas was executive producer of both the movie and the television show. The pilot aired on September 19th, 1986. Robert Hayes takes over the title role from the movie starman, Jeff Bridges.
Get set to enjoy the return as beginning of the End Playhouse continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Are you puzzled about what became of that helicopter pilot after Starman pulled him from the wreckage? Many fans have wondered the same thing. In the original script, Starman carries the pilot safely to a cabin, but that scene was cut.
The pilot, by the way, is played by Joe Phelan, also known as Joe Estevez. He's Martin Sheen's brother and an uncle to Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
Beginning of the End Playhouse continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Robert Hayes is probably best known for his hilarious work on the airplane movies and more recently for Homeward Bound 1 and 2. He had wanted to play Starman in the movies, so it's nice that he got his chance in the series.
C.B. Barnes, who plays Scott, now goes by the name Christopher Daniel Barnes. You may recognize him as Greg from the recent Brady Bunch movie.
How did he get C.B. from Christopher Daniel?
It's one of the great mysteries of science fiction. Beginning of the End Playhouse continues.
End.
The final episodes of The Twilight Zone, She-Wolf of London, Lost in Space, and Starman.
For once in your miserable life, Smith, try to act like a man,
The beginning of the End Playhouse Part 2. Tomorrow, beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome to the Edge.
Welcome back to Beginning of the End Playhouse, here on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Marta Kristen.
And I'm Mark Goddard. We've been enjoying the final episodes of 3 of your favorite Sci-Fi Channel series. It's time for the last of the last, the final episode of Starman, starring Robert Hayes in the title role.
In the pilot episode, The Return, we saw Starman's arrival on Earth after a 15-year absence. His son, Scott, played by C.B. Barnes, has inadvertently summoned him with the magical blue sphere that Starman entrusted to the boy's mother, Jenny Hayden.
The search for Jenny Hayden is an obsession for Starman and Scott. Hindering their every step is government agent George Fox, played by Michael Cavanaugh.
Behind the scenes, there was a lot of creative argument about whether Starman and Scott should ever find Jenny, and if they did, should they all remain together. Most of the time, Jenny remains an elusive, almost mythical presence.
They finally do meet Jenny briefly in the next to the last episode, the 2-part Starscape. And along the way, Starman and Scott have plenty of adventure, heightened by Starman's unearthly powers. There are also a lot of laughs as this newbie to the planet Earth gets used to his human form.
We're about to see the last Starman episode, The Test. Starman and Scott have once again become separated from Jenny. The title of the show has many layers of meaning, as you'll see.
The beginning of the End Playhouse continues with the final episode of Starman here on the Sci-Fi Channel. This final Starman, The Test, was a test of sorts for Robert Hayes, too. He directed it as well as starred in the episode.
In the series, Starman has taken the human form of the late Paul Forrester, a photographer and apparently not a very nice man. As Starman, Hayes finds he must often clean up after Forrester's wicked ways.
Now watch as Starman learns that sometimes it's best to keep his magic to himself and let others find their own. Despite its brief run, the series Starman seems to have touched fans in a special way. It didn't enjoy the publicity or even the word of mouth that some flashier sci-fi shows receive.
But the number of fans is still growing, and they expect a big turnout for the 10th anniversary convention planned for September '96.
And now, what Gertrude Stein might have called the end of the end of the end, as our final episodes conclude here on the Sci-Fi Channel.